Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and I'm coming to you with a video today. I'm so sorry, I've been so busy this week with so many performances and work and things. I just have not had any time to make many videos, even though I have wanted to. So today I just want to kind of do like a general talk. I want to talk about one of my favorite places to buy gun parts from and talk about shipping. I want to thank my Patreons, show you guys what I have been filming the past couple of days because I've only had time to do shorter videos, so I'm trying to catch up on some of my product reviews. And then I want to talk about, there was something else I want to talk about. Oh yeah, a very interesting comment and perspective that one of my viewers, I guess, brought up when it comes to having to wait for the judicial system to work on, like everything from the bump stock cases to the ATF pistol brace cases. But anyway, let's talk about what I have been reviewing lately. As I mentioned, I have been super duper busy between work and then having to do rehearsals, performances. I mean, it's just been a crazy, crazy week. You guys know I'm a music teacher and a performer, and I've literally had rehearsals with various groups. It's just, this is the time of year when a lot of stuff happens. So I played a private corporate event with a top 40 band on Thursday, had a rehearsal with a wind ensemble on Monday night, and then, no, sorry, that was Tuesday night. Monday, it was with my professional brass chamber ensemble. I know you guys don't want to hear about that, but that's what I've been doing. I got a rehearsal this afternoon. I have a performance tomorrow. Yeah, it's just literally nonstop, and it just takes up my days. But anyway, I did a couple of product reviews because these are things that have been kind of on the back burner, and they're shorter videos. So I was able to get two of them out yesterday, and I want to share those with you. One is on a holster right here from Hilliker Holsters. I don't know if I have the card out here. They had like a little business card that was cool too. I wasn't sure how to pronounce the name, but it's Hilliker. So I think it's Hilliker or Hilliker, or I don't know. It's kind of an interesting name, but it's a good holster. I hope I pronounced the name right. This holster was sent to me not by the holster company, but by Olight, believe it or not, because when they came out with the Olight PL Turbo Valkyrie, which has the same size and shape and footprint as the Surefire X300. I guess they worked with this holster company and came up with a couple holsters, and this one's for a Glock 19 or Glock 17, and so Olight sent this to me, and it's a pretty nice one. Overall, I think the only issue I really had with it is that it is a little bit on the flexible side. The kydex is a little bit thin, and so when you're trying to reholster your gun, if it's inside the waistband, this gets, compressed a little bit, and sometimes it's a little bit hard to reholster. But it functions well, and I reviewed that, and it works well with this Glock 19 with that Olight on it. And then, oh boy, you guys are going to like this one, because when you guys see the review, you might laugh. But it's actually a really good product, and if you don't care about fashion, you might like it. This is I know it looks like a fanny pack, but according to the company, it is the QAPS modular pack, or modular, what do they call it? The modular something, modular bag, that's what it is. Essentially, it's a tactical fanny pack, and it's designed for subcompact pistols, and you get a holster inside that's Velcroed, you can move it around, and I used it with a Glock 26, and it actually works pretty darn well. This thing is a super high quality bag. Lots of Velcro here on the front, so you can put patches. You got pouches in the back and the front, and they even have like an accessory bag. So I reviewed it and actually really, really liked it. It does everything it says it does. I mean, so I don't think this is a way to carry maybe to a black tie event. But if you're out hiking, maybe you're doing something outside, actually it would kind of work pretty well. But anyway, you guys get to see the Texas Gun Vault Tactical Dad Bod and him, or me, wearing a fanny pack. I bet you guys are going to absolutely love that. So I was able to get those two reviews out yesterday. So my Patreon should be seeing those. I know they like to make fun of me for all of my product reviews and all the weird stuff. But yeah, so that's what I reviewed yesterday, able to get those out, and these have been on the back burner for a little bit. I'm hoping to go to the range this weekend because it's a long weekend. I got three or four guns in right now, so I'm gonna do like a long range session to try to get those uh, filmed, or the shooting part filmed, and hopefully I'll get one or two of those out maybe on Monday. I also wanted to thank my Patreons because I always say in my videos that I couldn't do this without them because they help keep the content coming. And there are two items that for some reason when I film my videos that I seem to wear out, and I am very surprised that I do. One is SD cards. Man, do I go through SD cards because they're going in and out of these cameras constantly. I don't know if I got one in the camera right now. No, I don't have one in the camera, but between going in and out of the camera and then going into my computer, and I don't know, the connection points wear out, and the little tabs where you can lock them in and out break. So those things can actually get a little bit pricey for the type I need. And so the Patrons really help me. The other thing is microphones. I think this is, the fourth or the fifth Rode lapel microphone I have gone through. And I know they're starting to go out because when I'm filming, in fact, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Another reason I wasn't able to get some of these other reviews out earlier last week is because I'll be filming and all of a sudden I'll get this, I guess it's not really static, but it's like obviously there's some type of short in it, and it's like going if I move or whatever. And so I really do try to take care of these. I wind the cords up not tight. But eventually they just decide, hey, I'm going out. And these things are expensive. So my Patrons, and I used the Patreon money this month and got another microphone. And so I go through these things like crazy. I'd say I go through about one or two a year. I think this last year I did two because I don't know. I'm really careful with them. I don't like pull on the cables. Anyway, I try to treat them with respect but they just kind of wear out. So yeah, so thank you, Patrons. Another one mic goes in the garbage. So I couldn't do this without you. And when I say that you guys keep the lights on, it really, really is true. All right, so let's talk about a couple of gun things. Let's talk about, I'll save the best for last, which I know a lot of people want to talk about, which is like the pistol brace stuff. But I also want to talk about Midway USA. Now, if you guys don't know, Midway USA is a company, they're like Brownells. I just don't think they're as big as Brownells, but they're a great company for finding parts. And if you're, needing like gunsmithing stuff and tools, they're really awesome. I always end up going to Brownells first because they have more coupon codes and their shipping is better. But that's what I wanted to talk about, how small the world is. And sometimes I wonder if your phone is listening to you or it just happens to be coincidence. I don't know. So listen to this story. So you guys know I'm a music teacher, and one of my students, his dad, I guess, is working for a consulting firm. I guess they go in and they help companies. And anyway, so he comes up to me and says, essentially, you'd be really interested to know who my next client is. And I was like, well, who's your next client? He goes, Midway USA. So I guess they're working with them about consulting on how to make their business better, how to do things differently. And I said, the one thing about Midway USA that in a way I like, but I don't like, is their shipping. Because, of course, whenever you buy stuff and you're in the middle of a project, you want your parts as soon as possible. But I'm not going to pay, like $60 to have it overnighted. So I just do whatever the affordable, it's a balancing act between time and money. And so I said, what I really like about Midway USA is the fact that they have that Nitro Express shipping, or it's what they call it. And essentially, pretty much if you order something, it is literally shipped out the next day. And if you order it after their pickup or whatever, it goes out the next day. It's so fast. I mean, you buy it. If you buy it in the morning, it is literally shipped by like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It is amazing. It is awesome. I love that about them. The downside is Midway USA uses UPS SurePost, or that's like their standard shipping. And what that is I guess UPS, the United Parcel Service, picks up the package and they do the long haul part of it. So like it, comes from, I want to say it's Missouri, And whether it goes on a train or goes on a truck or whatever, it goes where it needs to. And then once it gets to pretty much close to the destination, like here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, they transfer it to the post office, and the post office makes final delivery. So maybe it's a thing where they can save money. I don't know. And I told him, I said, it's great that they ship it the same day, but the problem is when they transfer it to the post office, that adds 1 or 2 days to the transit, because if it gets here in the middle of, let's say on a Friday, well, the post office isn't going to accept it until Monday, then they're not going to try to deliver it until Tuesday. So it adds like 4 days. Great, you shipped it the same day, but it adds so much time. And if it gets here in the middle of the week, it literally adds 1 or 2 days, because let's say it gets here on a Tuesday, according to the tracking number. And then they're like transferring to post office. And the next day it transfers to the post office. And then the next day after that, it gets delivered. And I told this person, I said, it's great that they have this super fast shipping. But then they do this UPS SurePost, and it adds all this time to it. It's like, just ship it postal service or just ship it UPS and wait the extra time. I would rather wait 1 or 2 days and just have it shipped without it having to go through multiple carriers. But I was on my phone yesterday, and I guess, as I said, is this coincidence or my phone listening to me? Because it's really weird that they would make a commercial like this. Larry Potterfield, who owns Midway USA, did some type of advertisement about Nitro Express shipping at Midway USA. He's sitting there in front of all the conveyor belts, and he's talking about how they've upgraded all their facilities to get their products and stuff shipped even faster. And I'm like, wow, what is the coincidence of that I'm complaining about it, or actually I'm complimenting them and complaining about it at the same time. And then they have an advertisement where the CEO of the company makes an advertisement, and then it shows up on my feed. I don't know. It's just weird how the world works. It's almost like we're all interconnected, and sometimes we don't have to say things. We just know what's going on. It's very fascinating to me. Yeah, and I have a little bit of sniffles, by the way. You might hear me sniffle a little bit. Got cool here finally. We finally have our first real batch of cool weather here in North Texas, and I think either pollen or something just went poof. I know a lot of people that are dealing with the same thing. Okay, now let's get to the meat and potatoes of what I know some of you guys want to talk about, because one of the great things about being a content creator is I get to tap into the knowledge and the thought processes of so many people. And hopefully you guys notice that I try to interact with as many people as possible. I try to answer all of the comments and respond to them in some way. Because I don't want anybody to think that I don't appreciate them. Unless they're being jerks or they're mean, then I, delete it or ban them or whatever. But if you're nice and we just have a great conversation, I try to reply to every comment. So I was talking about, in a recent video where I was in my car, I talked about how the courts move so slow. Man, they move so slow. And of course, you guys know I'm kind of black-pilled. I say the future of the Second Amendment is not, bright, it's bleak. And somebody brought up, because I mentioned the pistol braces and the bump stocks. And they said, they agreed with me. They didn't want to agree with me, but they agreed with me. And when it came to the timing, they brought up a great point that I want you guys to think about. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. Because right now, the topic du jour is pistol braces. That's the most immediate thing. We just had that ruling in the district court here in North Texas. And it's the most recent kind of big overreach of the ATF, okay? So maybe it's on people's minds the most. However, they brought up the point saying, bump stocks. When the bump stock thing went into effect? It was like 2019. And what is it now? It is 2023. And there's no end in sight on the bump stock thing. I mean, there are cases that are being litigated, but those aren't going to be decided, most likely. Nothing's going to happen for quite some time. And here we are, 4 years later. We're literally 4 years later. Nothing's happened. And I know what people are going to say because they're going to misunderstand what has actually happened. I know people are going to say in the comment section, Jason, if you live in the Fifth Circuit, which, by the way, I do, you can own bump stocks. No, you can't. They have not been legalized It was just the Fifth Circuit bumped it back down to the district court to have them re-adjudicated under the Bruin criteria. So it doesn't mean that it's legal or anything. But anyway, for most of the country anyway, nothing has happened. And here we are 4 years later. And it's literally a challenge on the same grounds. It's on the challenge of Second Amendment grounds. It's on the challenge of executive bureaucracy and agency overreach and rulemaking. It's about changing the definitions in federal statutes and laws. It's exactly the same thing. And here we are 4 years later, and essentially bump stocks are still banned. Nothing is happening and nothing is coming down the pipe. That's it. So let me ask you, for all of you that are looking for immediate and quick injunctive relief and the courts to, bat down the ATF pistol brace thing, it's not happening. It is not happening. Here we are 4 years later with bump stocks, and nothing is immediate on the horizon. What do you think pistol braces are going to be? Why would they do pistol braces faster than bump stocks when it's exactly the same challenge and it's literally trying to overturn the same thing? This is how slow our court system works because of two reasons. Number one, the court system just moves slow because of all the procedures, and then no judge wants to be the judge that gives a definitive answer on the Second Amendment. They all just dance around it, and they refuse to just lay down the law and follow the Constitution because they're not going to. So if you think and you're telling yourself and you're believing the other channels that great news, breaking news, whatever, ATF pistol brace rules about to be knocked down because they've backed the ATF into a corner, here we are 4 years later and nothing's been done on bump stocks. So where do you think we're going to be 4 years from now when it comes to ATF or the ATF pistol brace rule? That's right, we're going to be in the same place. And all that time, you'll be clicking on videos where commentators are telling you, oh my gosh, this brief has been filed. The Supreme Court 6-3 decision has backed the ATF pistol brace rule into a corner. And here we are. Here we are. Really interesting, back in 1986 when they banned they banned new machine guns. And they locked it in so you can only transfer the transferable machine guns. May the 19th, 1986. The major gun rights group at the time, the National Rifle Association, and Wayne LaPierre said they're going to fight nonstop until they get this overturned. Yeah, they've been fighting nonstop to get over it. And what are we now? 30, boy, that was in 86. What is that? That's, was it 37 years? Yeah, 37 years. There you go. And here we are. Machine guns are still banned. 37 years. And are they really trying to No, they aren't. No, they're not. So it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And the courts will just keep dragging this stuff on and on and on and on and on until it just goes away and all of you guys forget. And that's it. So that commenter made a great point, and I need to start remembering to bring that up in my commentary videos where I talk about this stuff because it's 4 years after bump stocks were banned. People have been fighting it, and they're still banned. So if you're waiting with bated breath for your pistol brace to become legal again, don't count on it. And that's just the way it works. And maybe there's a cabal of people behind the scenes that make sure it works this way. They know how to play the game. They want them banned. They drag it out for as long as they possibly can until you forget. Because most of you guys have forgotten about bump stocks. I mean, you haven't forgotten about them, but you're not passionate about the ban anymore. You're not as passionate as you were back in 2019. And enough time has transpired where you all, not saying everybody here, but most people will say, that's just a gimmick. It wasn't that important. I didn't care about those. I guarantee you in 4 to 5 years, many of you guys will be looking at ATF, or I keep saying ATF pistol braces, but pistol braces themselves and going, they're just a gimmick. I don't care, because slowly they wore you down. There's been enough time that's gone by that you don't care about it anymore. So nothing will happen. And then the courts just drag it on. And then it just, poof, it just disappears. It just becomes what everyone expects. It's just status quo. It's like the machine gun ban. The machine gun ban is now just status quo. Well, the bump stock ban and the pistol brace ban will be status quo too, because they're just going to wear you down because they have time on your side or time on their side. So that is it. A little gun talk, product reviews, complaining, but also complimenting Midway USA, thanking my Patreons, and bringing up something great, a great point that one of my commenters on one of my videos brought up that I think I wanted to share with all of you because it's very important to think about perspective. So you ain't getting your pistol braces back anytime soon with the bump stock cases or any indication. So there you go, a little gun talk from the garage. Thank you guys for bearing with me, and I hope you guys enjoy these because I know I love talking guns. It doesn't have to be about the most pressing issue of the day, but I love just talking guns. And there's so much about the gun culture, from parts and builds to politics to reviews to, I don't know, you name it. So anyway, so that is it. Sorry for being so stuffed up. And there we go. So let me know if you have any questions. And as always, thanks for watching.